My name is Valerie, and I am 32. I work in a large money firm. My job is hard and quiet. I check records, files, and bank accounts. I look for lies in company books. I find money that people hide. I find names that people cover. I find wrong numbers in clean reports. I like numbers because numbers stay still. People smile and lie every day. People change stories when they feel fear. People use love like a sharp tool. But numbers do not smile at me. Numbers do not shout at me. Numbers do not call me weak. Numbers sit on a page and wait. I am good at my work. My desk is clean every morning. My files stay in neat rows. My calendar has small, clear notes. My coffee sits on the left side. My blue pen sits near my keyboard. I like order because order feels safe. I like facts because facts protect me. 5 years ago, my life looked very different. I was engaged to a man named Trent. He was handsome, loud, and warm in public. People liked his smile very much. They did not see the real man. I saw him when the doors closed. Trent took my money little by little. He opened cards with my name. He used my bank account for his plans. He said he needed help from me. He said love meant trust and silence. I believed him because I felt small. Then my credit broke under his hands. He also took my friends from me. He said my friends hated him. He said my family judged me. He said no one understood our love. Soon, I spoke to almost no one. My world became our small apartment. My world became his face and voice. His voice hurt more than his debts. He called me stupid after work. He called me cold during dinner. He laughed when I cried in bed. He told me no one else wanted me. He said I needed him to live. I heard those words too many times. One night, I looked in the mirror. My face looked tired and gray. My eyes did not look like mine. Trent slept on the couch that night. His phone fell near his hand. His wallet sat open on the table. The apartment smelled of beer and fear. I packed one small black bag. I took 2 shirts and 1 dress. I took my work papers and passport. I took $23 from my drawer. My hands shook, but I stayed quiet. The door made a small click. I walked down 3 flights of stairs. I did not look back once. After that night, life felt hard. I slept on a friend's old couch. I worked late and ate cheap food. I paid 1 old debt each month. I called banks and fixed reports. I wrote dates in a small notebook. I rebuilt my name 1 line at a time. It took 5 long years. I studied after work every night. I passed tests and took better jobs. I got my license and guarded it. I moved into a clean apartment. I bought a bed with my own money. I paid every bill on time. Then I got this job. The firm sat high above downtown. Glass walls showed the city below. My office had sun each morning. My name sat on a silver door. I became a senior forensic accountant. I solved problems that scared rich men. I did not date much. I did not trust fast smiles. I did not let people close quickly. Some people called me serious. Some people called me cold. I did not care about those words. I knew what peace cost me. On that Monday, the day started normal. The sky looked pale through the glass. I reached my desk before 8. I checked my mail and opened files. A big fraud case needed my eyes. I had 3 accounts to review. I expected a quiet, clean day. At 9, my manager called us together. The whole office moved into the main room. People held coffee and spoke softly. The partners stood near the front wall. Their faces looked tight and bright. That meant bad news or big news. One partner raised his hand for silence. He said a private group bought our firm. He said the change meant growth. He said no one should feel fear. His smile did not reach his eyes. Another partner spoke after him. She said a new CEO would lead us. He wanted to meet every team today. He came from finance and private money. He had strong plans for the firm. People around me started to smile. A few clapped in a polite way. I did not clap at first. I watched the partners and their hands. I watched the legal team near the door. They looked too quiet for good news. My stomach felt tight for no clear reason. Numbers made sense, but then the elevator gave one soft sound. The silver doors opened beside the room. A man stepped out with 2 assistants. He wore a dark suit and shiny shoes. His watch flashed under the white light. His smile spread across the room. My hand froze around my coffee cup. The room did not move for me. I knew that face at once. I knew the mouth and the eyes. I knew the careful, pretty smile. I knew the man under the suit. It was Trent. For 1 second, I felt 27 again. I felt the old apartment around me. I heard his voice in my head. I smelled beer, soap, and old fear. My chest locked, and I could not breathe. My body remembered before my mind spoke. Then I put my cup down. I placed both feet on the floor. I counted 4 small marks on my desk. I looked at my open spreadsheet. Row 1, row 2, row 3. Facts came back to me slowly. I was not in that apartment now. Trent walked through the room with ease. He shook hands and said warm words. He asked names and praised small teams. People laughed when he made short jokes. He looked rich, calm, and important. He looked like a man with power. No one knew what he did to me. No one knew about the old debts. No one knew about my black bag. To them, he was the new leader. To me, he was a closed door. He was a voice from a dark year. He came closer to my desk. My manager smiled and said my name. She called me one of our best. She said I found fraud others missed. Trent looked at her, then at me. His smile grew slow and private. "Valerie," he said in a smooth voice. "What a nice surprise to see you." I stood because everyone else stood. I held my face still and calm. "Trent," I said, with no warm tone. My manager looked between us with interest. "You two know each other?" she asked. "We go back," Trent said at once. His eyes stayed fixed on mine. "Valerie and I share old history." I did not answer that. My throat felt dry and tight. I wanted water, air, and distance. But I stayed where I stood. I did not give him one step. He moved closer to my desk. He leaned down beside my shoulder. To everyone else, he looked friendly. To me, he felt like a threat. His cologne filled the air around my face. It smelled rich, sharp, and proud. His voice dropped very low. "Did you think I forgot you, Valerie?" I kept my eyes on his tie. It cost more than my rent. I did not speak. "You humiliated me," he said softly. "You walked out like you mattered." My fingers pressed against my desk. The wood felt cool under my skin. "I did not buy this firm for profit," he said. "I bought it to destroy you." My heart gave one hard beat. Then it gave another. "I want you to beg for your job," he said. "I want you on your knees." He stood straight again and smiled brightly. "Great team," he said to my manager. "I look forward to our work." Then he walked away like nothing happened. People watched him with respect and hope. They saw a rich man in a fine suit. They did not see his quiet words. They did not see my past in his hands. I sat down very slowly. My computer screen still showed the same file. The numbers waited for me without fear. The office noise came back around me. Someone laughed near the coffee machine. Someone asked about the new health plan. My world did not end that Monday, but it changed shape in 1 minute. Trent had money now and power. He bought my workplace with a plan. He did not want success from this firm. He wanted my fear, my job, and my name. I opened a new document. My hands no longer shook. I typed the date at the top. Then I typed his name under it. Trent Hale, new CEO, private equity owner. I saved the file in a locked folder. I backed it up in 2 places. I looked at the glass wall ahead. My face looked pale in the screen, but my eyes looked clear. 5 years ago, I ran from him. That night saved my life. But I was not that woman now. I was not weak, lost, or alone. I knew money records better than him. I knew lies had small marks. I knew all fraud left a trail. Trent wanted revenge. He wanted me to break. I looked at my spreadsheet again. The numbers sat in clean rows, and the numbers did not lie. The next morning, Trent called me to his office. His office was now on the top floor. It used to belong to our main partner. It had glass walls and bright light. It also had a wide view of the city. I walked in with my file tablet. I kept my back straight and my face calm. Trent sat behind the large desk. He did not ask me to sit. He looked at me like I was dirt. "You look tired," he said. "I am here for work," I said. He smiled, but his eyes stayed cold. "Yes, let us talk about your work." He opened a folder in front of him. It held my name on the first page. He tapped the paper with one finger. "I made some changes," he said. I waited. "You no longer handle major client accounts," he said. "You no longer sit on the top floor. You need a smaller role now." My face stayed still. "What role?" He smiled wider. "Records review." I knew what that meant. It meant dead files and bad paper. It meant work no one wanted. It meant no growth, no respect, and no voice. "Your new office sits in the basement," he said. "You start today." I nodded once. "Send me the files." His smile fell for 1 second. He wanted anger from me. He wanted tears or a sharp word. I gave him nothing. A young assistant took me downstairs. We passed clean halls and bright rooms. Then we passed storage closets and pipes. The basement air felt wet and cold. The walls held old gray paint. One light buzzed above the door. The room had no window. It had 1 desk and 2 chairs. Boxes filled one side of the room. Some boxes had torn tape and dust. A small fan sat on the floor. It did not work. The assistant looked sorry. "I can ask for a better chair," she said. "That is kind," I said. "But I can work." She left me there with the boxes. I shut the door and looked around. The room smelled like paper and water. My old office had morning sun. This room had pipes and old air. For 1 minute, pain touched my chest. Trent knew how to make small rooms feel large. He knew how to make silence feel heavy. He knew my old fears and old scars. Then I opened the first box. I took out a stack of receipts. They came from old clients and closed accounts. Some papers had coffee marks. Some had no dates or names. Some looked like trash from a drawer. Trent wanted me to feel small. So he gave me small work. But numbers stayed numbers in any room. A receipt in a basement still told a story. A date still meant a day. A total still meant a choice. I made a new sheet. I wrote box numbers and dates. I made columns for names and amounts. I built order from the mess. The work was slow, but I knew slow work. I survived 5 years of slow work. At lunch, Trent came to the basement. He did not knock before he entered. He looked around with fake surprise. "Look at you," he said. In the dark, I kept my eyes on the screen. "Do you need something?" He laughed softly. "You are nothing, Valerie. You forgot that for a while." I typed one more number. He moved closer to the desk. "This room suits you. No windows, no team, no power." I marked one receipt as missing a date. "Just quit," he said. "It will save you shame." I looked at him then. "I have work to do." His smile moved, but he did not laugh. "You always thought you were special." "No," I said. "I know I am useful." His face changed for 1 second. Then he turned and left the room. The door shut hard behind him. He came again the next day. Then again the day after that. He mocked my room, my work, and my clothes. He asked if I missed my old office. He said my license meant nothing now. He said no one would help me. He wanted me to cry. He wanted me to scream. He wanted me to run away again. But I did not give him my tears. I survived him when I felt weak. I did not break now. I sat in the dark. I did my work. The papers looked useless at first. But useless papers sometimes hide real facts. I checked every date. I matched each receipt to old records. I built a clean file from the mess. On Thursday night, I found the first strange thing. A client account had one extra line. It was small beside the other totals, but it did not belong there. The amount was $150,000. The money left the firm at 2:13 a.m. It went to an account with no clear name. The bank sat outside the country. I stared at the screen for a long time. That transfer did not match the client file. It did not match the contract. It did not match the approval list. It did not match the banknote. I opened the system logs. My breath grew slow and careful. I checked the username first. The transfer showed my name. Then I checked the digital sign. It showed my work code. Then I checked the IP address. It came from my basement terminal. The password entry also showed my account. The system said I sent the money. The system said I stole it. I looked at the time again, 2:13 a.m. I was not in the office then. I was home in bed. My building camera could show that. My phone also had location records. But Trent had power over the firm system. He could change logs and hide files. I sat back in my chair. The room felt smaller than before. Trent did not just want me to quit. He wanted to ruin my name forever. He wanted my license gone. He wanted police, shame, and prison. The next morning, he came to the basement early. He carried coffee and a bright smile. I knew at once he knew. Busy night? he asked. I looked at him. No. He placed the coffee on my desk. I hear strange things about client money. I said nothing. His voice stayed sweet. Sometimes good people make bad choices. I looked at the cup. I did not touch it. He leaned on my desk. A transfer left this office. It had your name, your password, and your sign. I kept my hands still. That sounds serious, I said. It does, he said. The board hates theft. Police hate theft. The license board hates theft too. He watched my face with hunger. He wanted fear. He wanted proof that his trap worked. I hope you can explain it, he said. For your sake. I opened a file and looked away. I explain numbers every day. His smile died. He picked up the coffee again. You really should beg now. I turned one page on my desk. I have work to do. For a long second, he said nothing. Then he left. The door closed, and my body finally shook. My fingers felt cold. My mouth felt dry. Fear came, because fear was honest. I knew what he planned. He planned to call police. He planned to show the logs. He planned to point at me and smile. But fear did not get the last word. I looked again at the transfer. I looked at the fake trail. I looked at each field in the system. Trent made one mistake. He thought I was just his ex. He thought I was a scared woman. He forgot my work. I hunted money lies every day. I knew how false records looked. I knew how proud men made errors. I opened a second locked file. I named it Trent Review. Then I started with the transfer time. After that, I checked access logs. Then, I checked backup logs. Then, I checked admin changes. One number led to another number. One date led to another date. One lie needed another lie. That was how I worked. And now, I worked on Trent. A normal person may panic at such a trap. I did not have that luxury. I had a license, a name, and a life. Trent wanted to take all three, so I took one slow breath. Then I looked deeper. He thought I was just a frightened ex-girlfriend. He forgot what I did for work. He left digital marks in the system. He thought he was smart, but he was careless. I put on my glasses. I opened every log I could reach. I copied no file without a reason. I wrote every step in a notebook. I marked time, username, and source. I kept my work clean and exact. During the day, I acted small. I let my shoulders fall a little. I looked tired when Trent passed by. I let him think his plan worked. His pride needed food, so I gave it crumbs. He smiled more when I looked afraid. At night, I stayed in the basement. The office grew quiet above me. The pipes clicked in the walls. The light buzzed over my head. I ate crackers from my bag. I drank water from a paper cup. Then I worked. First, I studied the fake transfer. The account outside the country had a short name. It looked new and clean. But new clean accounts often had old dirt. I traced the bank route through records. I checked old client payments and owner names. The route did not stop at one bank. It moved through 3 accounts first. One sat in Delaware. One sat in Nevada. One sat in the Cayman Islands. Each account had a company name. Each company had no real business. I opened public records. I checked owner lists and tax files. I checked old court notes and business dates. The same names came back again. One name hid behind another name. One address appeared in 6 companies. I saw Trent's hand in the records. He did not sign his name often, but his assistant did. His lawyer did. His driver did. Small people near him opened small doors. Those doors led back to him. Next, I checked the private equity group. It looked rich on the front page. It had a clean website and gold letters. It used words like growth and trust. But its records looked thin and strange. It bought a large firm too fast. Money came in before the purchase. Then money went out after it. The same round sums moved again and again. 100,000 here, 2 million there, 4 million after midnight. The money moved with no real reason. I knew that pattern. Dirty money often took long walks. It moved through clean places. Then it came out with a new face. Trent did not build wealth through skill. He washed money for dangerous men. I found records tied to illegal gambling. The words did not say gambling at first. They said entertainment, games, and private clubs. But banknotes told the truth. Cash came from cities with gambling cases. Names matched old police reports. Trent's group sat in the middle. He bought our firm for 2 reasons. He wanted to hurt me. He also wanted a large, clean machine. A respected firm could move dirty money. Client accounts could hide bad transfers. Normal reports could cover strange sums. I looked at the total for 30 days. I checked it 3 times. Then I checked it again. $14 million moved through our firm. It passed through client accounts and shell companies. It moved under fake work notes. Some records used my name too. That made my jaw lock. Trent did not only frame me once, he planned to use my name many times. He wanted me as the weak point. He wanted me blamed when the scheme broke. I needed help outside the firm. I could not go to local police. Trent already used 2 local officers often. I saw their names on visitor logs. They came to his office twice that week. Maybe it meant nothing. Maybe it meant enough. So, I called a federal agent I trusted. His name was Daniel Vance. He worked in financial crimes at the FBI. I knew him from an old case. We helped close a large fraud file. He was calm, smart, and careful. I called from a payphone near my apartment. My voice stayed low. Agent Vance, this is Valerie Moore. He knew my name at once. Valerie, are you safe? That question told me he heard my tone. For now, I said, I need a quiet meeting. He did not waste words. Where? I chose a small diner outside downtown. It had old red seats and weak coffee. No one from the firm went there. We met at 9 that night. I sat in the back booth. I kept my bag close to my side. Vance arrived in a gray coat. He looked around once before he sat. He did not touch my hand. He did not ask too many questions. He waited because he knew my work. I placed 2 encrypted drives on the table. Then I gave him a short printed summary. It had dates, accounts, and amounts. It also had Trent's name at the top. Your new CEO? Vance asked. Yes. Your ex? Yes. His face changed a little, but not much. He stayed steady, and I needed that. I spoke for 20 minutes. I explained the purchase, the basement, and the fake transfer. I showed how Trent used my password. I showed the admin access change. I showed the money route through 3 accounts. Then I showed the 14 million total. Vance read in silence. His eyes moved fast across the pages. He checked the account maps twice. Then he looked up at me. "He messed with the wrong woman," he said softly. For the first time that week, I breathed fully. "This looks strong," he said, "but we need more." "I know," I said. "I can get more. No risk without purpose," he said. "You understand?" "I understand." We built a plan that night. It was simple and careful. I would keep acting afraid at work. I would not warn the board yet. I would collect clean records only. Vance would get federal support and warrants. He would check bank links from outside. For 1 week, I lived 2 lives. During the day, I sat in the basement. I let Trent call me nothing. I let him believe I was near collapse. He smiled when I jumped at sounds. I made sure he saw fear on my face. At night, I made the case stronger. I found fake invoices and false client notes. I found repeated digital signs from my account, but the times did not match my life. I found system entries from Trent's office. He copied my sign from there. One file gave us the last key. Trent's assistant sent a hidden report by mistake. It listed all planned transfers for the month. My name appeared beside 3 of them. The next transfer was $3 million. The note said, "Use VM again." I sent it to Vance with 1 line. "He plans more." Vance called me 10 minutes later. "We move Friday," he said. Friday was also Trent's day. He sent a company email that night. Every worker had to attend a meeting. The board would sit in the main room. The subject said, "Integrity and trust." I almost laughed when I read it. Then I printed the red folders. Each folder held the same facts, 1 for each board member, 1 for the legal head, 1 for the partners, 1 for me. At home, I chose my navy suit. I placed it on the chair. I cleaned my shoes and packed my bag. I slept only 3 hours. But my mind stayed clear. Trent thought Friday belonged to him. He did not understand the numbers. Friday morning came with bright sun. I reached the firm at 8. The lobby looked clean and cold. People spoke in low voices. Everyone knew the meeting felt serious. Nobody knew why. I wore my navy suit. I pinned my hair back. I carried the red folders in my bag. My face looked calm in the elevator glass. My heart beat hard, but steady. Fear sat with me, but facts sat closer. The main boardroom had glass walls. It sat at the center of the top floor. The long table shone under white lights. Board members filled one side. Partners filled the other side. Staff stood along the walls. 2 local police officers stood near the door. I knew Trent wanted a show. He wanted me in handcuffs before everyone. He wanted shame to fill the room. He wanted a crowd for my fall. Trent stood at the front. He wore another dark suit. His face looked sad and noble. He held a folder in one hand. He looked at the room with slow care. "Thank you all for coming," he said. "This is a hard day for me." No one moved. "I believe in trust," he said. "I believe in honesty and clean work." I watched his fingers on the folder. He tapped it twice. That meant he felt pleased. "I also believe in justice," he said, "even when it hurts." He turned his head toward me. His eyes met mine. His mouth made a small smile. Then he faced the room again. "Our firm suffered a serious crime," he said. "A client account lost $150,000. Quiet shock moved across the room. "I checked the logs myself," he said. The truth hurt me deeply. I almost admired his acting. Almost. He lifted the folder. The transfer used Valerie Moore's password. It used her digital sign. It came from her terminal. People turned toward me. My manager put one hand over her mouth. The legal head looked at the officers. One board member shook his head. Trent looked sad again. Valerie worked here with trust. So this breaks my heart. He pointed at me. Valerie stole the money, he said. Officers, please arrest her. The two officers moved one step forward. The room seemed to hold its breath. Trent looked at me with joy under his mask. He wanted me to beg in that moment. I did not beg. I stood up slowly. My chair made a small sound. Every face turned fully toward me. My hand stayed steady on my bag. I took out the red folders. Before the officers act, I said, "The board needs facts." Trent's smile froze. I walked to the table. I placed one folder before each board member. Then I gave one to the legal head. I kept the last one in my hands. Trent spoke fast. "This is not your meeting." I looked at him. "It became mine when you used my name." The room stayed silent. I faced the board. "I did not steal $150,000. Trent laughed once. "The logs show it." "Yes," I said. "The fake logs show that." His face changed. I opened my folder, but the full logs show more. The legal head opened her folder first. Her eyes moved down the first page. Then she stopped. Her face lost color. I walked to the screen control. My drive sat in my pocket. Vance and I checked it twice. It held only safe copies and charts. I placed it in the computer. A map of bank routes filled the big screen. "These are the accounts from the transfer," I said. "The money did not go to me." I clicked once. 3 boxes appeared. It went through these companies first. I clicked again. More boxes appeared. Then it moved to Cayman accounts. Trent stepped toward me. "Turn that off." I did not look at him. "These companies connect to Trent Hale." One board member stood halfway. "What does this mean?" "It means he framed me," I said. "He used executive access to enter my terminal." I clicked again. The screen showed access times. He copied my digital sign from his office. The legal head looked at Trent. "Is this real?" Trent slammed his folder on the table. "She is lying." I kept my voice low. "I do not need lies." I clicked again. A larger chart appeared. It showed many account routes. It showed dates, names, and totals. Red lines crossed the screen from firm accounts to shell companies. "This firm moved $14 million in 30 days, I said. Trent moved dirty money through client accounts. Someone gasped near the wall, I continued. He used fake invoices. He used false client notes. He used my name in planned transfers. I opened a page from the folder. Page 6 shows the next plan. It says, "Use VM." Again. The board chair read the page. His hands started to shake. Trent pointed at me. "She is crazy. She hates me." I looked at him for the first time. "Yes, I know you." His mouth opened, but no words came. "You ruined my credit," I said. "You cut me from people. You used my name before." The room stayed still. "But this case does not need my feelings," I said. "It needs records." I clicked again. "Here are the bank routes." Another click. "Here are the admin changes." Another click. Here are the false signs. Another click. Here are the gambling links. The screen showed enough. The room saw enough. The board members looked at Trent now. They did not see a leader. They saw a man with too many lies. The local officers looked unsure. One whispered to the other. They did not move toward me anymore. Trent's face turned white. Sweat touched his upper lip. His eyes moved from the door to the screen, then from the screen to me. "You think you won," he shouted. "You are still nothing." I closed the folder in my hands. "No, Trent." I took one step closer. "I am a forensic accountant." He tried to laugh, but it sounded wrong. "You are my angry ex." "I am the person who checked your math," I said. That made the board chair look down again. He understood before Trent did. The boardroom doors opened behind us. Every head turned at once. Special Agent Vance walked in first. 6 federal agents came in behind him. They wore dark jackets and calm faces. Trent stepped back. "What is this?" Vance looked at me for one short moment. Then he faced Trent. "Trent Hale," he said, "you are under arrest." The room went silent again. Vance continued. "The charges include money laundering, wire fraud, and extortion." Trent looked at the local officers. They did not help him. Then he looked at the board. They looked away from him. At last, he looked at me. His eyes no longer held power. They held fear. It was pure and helpless. "This is her fault," he shouted. "She set me up." Vance moved closer. "Your records set you up." 2 agents took Trent's arms. He pulled back once. Then he stopped. His fine suit looked small on him now. The watch still shone under the lights. But no one cared about the watch. As agents placed cuffs on him, he stared at me. I walked to him slowly. I did not smile. I did not raise my voice. I gave him only one quiet sentence. "You wanted revenge, Trent." "But I just did my job." His mouth twisted with hate. "Enjoy prison," I said. The agents took him through the open doors. Workers moved aside in silence. Trent shouted once in the hall. Then the elevator doors closed. His voice disappeared with him. No one spoke for several seconds. Then the board chair stood. He looked old and tired. "Miss Moore," he said, "we owe you more than words." I nodded. "Start with the clients." He understood. "Yes, we start there." The next months were not easy. Federal agents filled our offices often. Clients called with fear and anger. The board removed Trent's people. The firm checked every account again. I worked long days and longer nights, but I did not work from the basement. My desk returned to the top floor. Then my name moved to a larger door. The partners asked me to lead the clean audit. I accepted because the firm needed facts. 6 months later, the partners made me partner. They held a small meeting for it. My manager cried when she hugged me. The board chair thanked me again. I thanked my team because they worked hard. That night, I had dinner with Vance. We sat in a quiet place near the river. The table had one candle and white plates. He did not ask me to be soft. He did not ask me to forget. He listened when I spoke. He respected every quiet pause. My life felt peaceful that night. Not perfect, but peaceful. I had my name, my work, and my home. I had clean credit and clean books. I had a future that belonged to me. Trent thought he could buy my ruin. He thought money made him untouchable. He thought fear still owned me. He was wrong in every way. My worth was not for sale. My voice was not for sale. My life was not for sale. I was a survivor. I was a professional. And my balance sheet was finally clean.